Haribo. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Jaya Girivaradari Jaya Girivaradari Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Radha Govinda ki, Shri Gaunitai ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tadarajastamo Bhava Kamalobhadayaschaye Chetayatayanaviram Stitam Sattve Prasidati. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 8, verses 19 and 20. Only I will repeat them and we'll just read the translation and purport. Only I will repeat. You want to repeat? Okay. First one. Actually, first one is repetition and second one, because first one is with the purport. Ready? You just look on your, we don't. It's 3:8:19. Saitam udvikshya tatabjanala. Satitam udvikshya tatabjanala. Satitam udvikshya tatabjanala. Tatabjanala. Nadibir antarjalam avivesha. Antarjalam avivesha. Nadibir antarjalam avivesha. Narvagatastat karanalanala. Narvagatastat karanalanala. Nabim vichinvam stat avindathaja. Nabim vichinvam stat avindathaja. Please repeat. Sad itam udvikshya tat abjanala. Nadi birantar jalama vishesha. Narvagatastat karanalanala. Nabim vichinvam stat avintathaja. Saha, he, Brahma, itam, in this way, udvikshya, contemplating, tat, that, abja, lotus, nala, steam, nadibi, by the pipe, antajalam, within the water, avivesha, entered into, na, not, arvaggata, in spite of going inside, tatksharanala, the steam of the lotus, nala, pipe, nabim, of the navel, vichinvan, thinking much of it, tat, that, avindata, understood, aja, the self-born. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma, thus contemplating, entered the water through the channel of the steam of the lotus. But in spite of entering the steam and going nearer to the navel of Vishnu, he could not trace out the route. Purport. By dint of one's personal endeavor, one may go nearer to the Lord, but without the Lord's mercy, one cannot reach the ultimate point. Such understanding of the Lord is possible only by devotional service, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 18:55. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavanyash chasmi tatvataha. And we are going to read also the text 20. Tamasi apare vidur atma sargam vichinvato but sumaham stri nemi yodeha bhajam bayam irayana parikshinoti ayur ajasya heti. Translation. O Vidura, while searching in that way about his existence, Brahma reached the ultimate time, which is the eternal will in the hand of Vishnu, and which generates fear in the mind of the living entity, like the fear of death. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalaka Chakshurun Militam Yanantasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we have to fulfill our duty no matter what. This is the basis of Krishna consciousness. Every living entity has a duty. It's a duty bound to serve the Lord and to perform his obligations, spiritual and material. So one time Srila Prabhupada said that if the duty of someone is to speak, even if there is no one to listen, he has to speak to the four walls. But the duty should be performed. And now we are here in the midst of birth of Brahma. So generally Brahma is known as unborn. Why? Because he was not born as us from a parents, from a mother and father. Rather, he appears from a lotus flower. So it's rather unique appearance, unique birth. That's why he is known as the unborn, the first living entity in the universe. And when he appeared, he started asking himself all these questions. Who am I? Where I am? And what is the goal of my existence? And using his intelligence and his mind, he tried to find the answer. And at some point, even we can see in today's verses, he made an investigation. He tried to look around. He even entered the lotus and try from inside to find the cause of his existence, but still he was not successful. And Srila Prabhupada is making very important point, we have very short purport, but very important purport. Srila Prabhupada is making the point that by the dint of personal endeavor, one may go near to the Lord, but without the Lord's mercy, one cannot reach the ultimate point. So with our own endeavors, with our own senses, with our own mind and intelligence, we can understand that there is a reason behind everything, and there is intelligence behind everything, and most probably there is a creator. We can understand that there is some cause behind everything, but what is this cause, or what are the features of this cause? If this cause has a qualities, if it has likings and dislikings, we don't know. This we cannot understand with our own endeavors, with our own capacity. This knowledge can be received only by the mercy of the Lord, personally from the Lord or through his representatives. That's why very often Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that Krishna is either coming directly very often, or he's sending his representatives, his associates, or his sons, or his incarnations, in order to give positive scientific knowledge about himself. It's not enough to have only negative knowledge about who God, what God is not. This is the beginning. Like, we can understand, okay, God is not matter. God is beyond material world. God is all-powerful, almighty, omnipresent. These are some characteristics, but they are rather very vague. And they give us the idea that, okay, God is not matter, He is spirit. But what actually is God, we don't get this knowledge. So in order to get this knowledge, we should get the mercy of Krishna. The whole process of Bhakti Yoga is based on mercy. Bhakti can come only from Bhakti. Bhakti cannot come from any material reason. So we can endeavor very much with our intelligence to understand God. It's not possible because our intelligence is material. Or we can go and ask some material person to tell us who is God. He cannot tell us because he himself is material. The only way to get positive knowledge about Bhakti is through Bhakta. This is the only way. That's why generally is mentioned that the preachers of Krishna consciousness, they are in a very unique position, very special position, because they are like authorized deliverers of the mercy of Krishna. Krishna is giving them the right to decide which one is suitable to get the mercy or the knowledge of Krishna, and which one is not. And to whoever they give their mercy, Krishna's mercy is flowing. It's very interesting. Basically, Krishna doesn't give the ultimate order who is qualified to get his mercy and who is not qualified. Rather, he's delivering this, he's empowering his devotees to make this choice. If a devotee decides to give the mercy to someone, Krishna's mercy follows the mercy of a devotee. It's very interesting moment. So devotees are, especially devotees, preachers, they are in a very, very unique position. Generally, devotees are in a very special and unique position, but especially those devotees who make special endeavor to go out and to give mercy to the conditioned souls, they are in a very special position, very unique position. And now we are seeing that Brahma, he tried to understand something more about the positive nature of the Lord, but he failed. He failed. And then, as we know, he performed meditation. He heard a word. What was the word that he heard? Tapa. What means tapa? Tapa means austerity, penance, but also I heard one time one senior devotee to explain that the literal meaning, one of the literal meanings of tapa means to cook. To cook. So you cook yourself in the fire of tapasya, in the fire of the austerities. Tapa. So when Brahma heard this, he underwent very severe meditation, very severe tapasya for a very long time. And then the result from this thing was that he got positive knowledge about Krishna. This is important moment for us in our spiritual life. We have to base our spiritual practice on tapasya. Some tapasya should be there. It's unavoidable. Either willingly we will take tapasya and we will make a spiritual advancement, or Maya, material energy of Krishna, will present us under this tapasya. We will have to undergo it anyway, in the form of different kinds of sufferings. What was the Sanskrit word? The three kinds of miseries. Adibhautika, Adhyatmika, and Adidaivika klesha. Yes, material energy will put us in front of these circumstances and we'll have to go through them. So now we can anyway go through these, but we can do it voluntarily in order to advance in Krishna consciousness. This is the example that Brahma is giving. Brahma, he is the example for all the living entities in the whole universe. So this is what we are seeing from him. In order to get spiritual knowledge, in order to make spiritual advancement, in order to become Krishna conscious, we have to underwent through some tapasya. There are different tapasyas or different austerities through which we can go. Like, for example, part of the lifestyle of devotee, generally he tries to go very early in the morning. Why he's getting up early in the morning? What's the reason? It's not just like that. There is a reason. Different levels of reason. So what are the different? For the pleasure of Krishna. Okay. This is the highest level. And then one level down. Yes, we got instruction and we know we have to do it. But why Guru is giving this instruction? Why for us is good to get up early? It's austerity in the amount of goodness. Yes, correct. Because this is the best time for spiritual activities. Brahma Muhurta is the best time for spiritual activities. If we make our chanting and our spiritual practice at that time of the day, or we make it, let's say, noontime or evening, it will be different. Our mind will be, for our mind, it will be much easier to concentrate on the spiritual subject matters. So it's better. Or that's why we get up early. Why we take cool shower, maybe not freezingly cold, but cool. Why cool? Why not warm? Because we are trying to save hot water, or why? What's the reason? Helps the mind to focus. Yes, the mind becomes very clear. If you take warm bath, you clean your physical body. But if you take a cool bath, kind of cold bath, this purifies also your mind. Suddenly the mind becomes very clean, very pure. Let's say we have different kind of memories from our night, from our dreams, from our sleeping. If we take a cool bath, immediately we will see all this will suddenly disappear. If we take a warm bath, it stays with us. So we have to drag this during our spiritual practice, during our chanting. So that's why we are doing it. So for everything, there is a reason. Why devotee is attending Srimad Bhagavatam every morning? Why he is trying to hear some shabda in the morning? Because he doesn't have anything else to do, and that's why, just to fill up the time. Yes, because if we do that, our intelligence through the whole day will contemplate on something spiritual. Oh, how is so? We were just discussing that Varahadev is lifting the earth. So what that means? He's lifting the earth, which is like a globe, or some authorities they are saying actually he lifted the whole disc Bhumandava. Actually, what happened? And which Varahadev? Some people are saying there are two Varahadev. So when they appeared exactly? So why there was water in the universe? What happened? So our intelligence the whole day is preoccupied thinking about spiritual topics. Otherwise, if we start our day with mundane news, this will be the vibration in our mind, in our intelligence for the whole day. So basically in the morning, we are investing for our day. If our morning is good, most probably our day will be also very good. And even if it's not very good, it will be much easier for us to go through the difficult circumstances. But if we don't have the good morning to start our day, it will be difficult. Our intelligence will be impure. Our mind won't be very sharp. One time, devotees, they asked Srila Prabhupada, so what is the best way to improve our book distribution? How we can distribute more books? And the answer of Srila Prabhupada was very easy and very simple. What is that? He said, just finish your 16 rounds all together in the morning. Don't make compromise. Just sit down and chant all your 16 rounds without stopping in the morning. This will definitely improve your book distribution. Why? Because our consciousness will be better. Now, when our consciousness is better, we'll be more producive. For the same amount of time, we'll be able to do more. There was one devotee when I was joining, and this devotee was taking care for me and other bhaktas, and he was training us. So he was a very good book distributor. At some point, he was taking every day with him one banana box, banana box. One banana box full with Bhagavatams, as many they can fit inside. And he was going with this banana box in the center of the city. And when he finishes the Bhagavatams, then he comes back. And generally, he was doing this for maybe 2.5, 3 hours maximum. So the devotees asked him, wow, how you are so efficient, like it's amazing. And he said, yeah, after quite some years on the street, I figured it out. It's not the point, there is not much point to stay for many hours on the street. Rather make very focused morning, strong spiritual program. And when you do that, you'll be in a very good consciousness. And if you go on the street, then for 2-3 hours, you'll make the result that otherwise you'll make for 5-6 hours. And then go back in the temple and use the rest 2-3 hours, again, investing in your spiritual consciousness. So that's better. This is what he was explaining to us. So he was saying there's no need to stay more than maybe 4 hours on the street. Just in these 4 hours, you try to be very focused, and then you see you get the result that otherwise you achieve for 6 hours. So it's very important to invest in the purity of our consciousness. This will make us successful. And we see Brahma, what he's doing here is exactly this one. He's investing in the purity of consciousness to such an extent that at some point he attracted the mercy of Krishna, and Krishna appeared in front of him. Of course, Krishna is not obliged to appear, but generally, when he is satisfied with our endeavors, generally he appears in our life. He is giving his mercy. Nayam deha deho bhajandri loke kashtan kaman arhatam vidbhujamye tapo divyam putra kayena sattvam shudyet yasmat brahma saukyam tvanantam. Rishabhadev is instructing his sons in 5th canto of Bhagavatam Human life is not meant for the petty sense enjoyments which are available for everybody, even for the animals, even for the hawks and ducks. He's saying this is not the goal of elevated human form of life. Rather, intelligent human beings should use his form of life to perform tapasya, tapo divyam. And this tapasya should not be for material gain. This tapasya should be for making spiritual advancement, tapo divyam. Brahma saukyam tvanantam. He should be able to realize Brahman, to get in contact with Brahman and enjoy eternal happiness, eternal bliss. Brahma saukyam tvanantam. Tapasya brahmacharyena samena cha damena cha tyagena satya shauchabhya yamena niyamena va. This is the goal of human life. One should cultivate these godly qualities. He should be willing to go through tapasya. He should be willing to go through brahmachari training. Tapasya brahmacharyena tyagena cha. He should take voluntarily some penances. He should cultivate qualities like satya, truthfulness, shaucha, cleanliness. Yamena niyamenava. Voluntarily, he has to follow different rules and regulations, what he has to do and what he shouldn't do. Shamana and Damena, controlling the mind, controlling the senses. All these are godly qualities. These are qualities that attracts the mercy of Krishna. It's very interesting in this verse, this verse from 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada is translating the following the positive rules as chanting the holy name. It's very interesting translation. So from this we can understand that the essence of all positive rules, spiritual positive rules to follow, is chanting the holy name. This is the most important thing. This is the essence, the most important part of the spiritual practice of the devotee. Sometimes there is discussions between the devotees. Okay, what is more important? Like we have the different process of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atman, Nivedam. So which is the most important? Which is the most important? And it's very interesting debate, friendly debate between the devotees. Some devotees are saying, well, which is the most important? Of course, Kirtan is the most important. I mean, how can you have doubt about this? Of course, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally said, what did he said? Kirtanya Sada Hari. We should always chant the holy name of the Lord. But this is the essence. This is the essence of our process. Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalauna stieva gatiranyaha. There is no other process. There is no other process. There is no other process. This is the essence, chanting the holy name of the Lord. But then other devotees are saying, how you are going to start chanting the holy name of the Lord if you don't hear before that from someone, from a devotee, from Shastra? How you are going to start this practice? So Shravanam is more important. How you are going to get your enthusiasm about chanting the holy name? You have to listen. You have to read Shastra. You have to listen from a pure devotee. Then you will be enthusiastic to chant. Otherwise, what is the use of your chanting? What is the use of your chanting? So other devotees, they have this perspective that Shravanam is more kirtan, more important. Of course, we don't have problem with that. Both are very important, and we have the both. It's just a question of viewpoint. Like from a perspective of starting our Krishna conscious practice, yes, definitely Shravanam is extremely important, because how we are going to start the process. The beginning of the process is Shravanam. We have to listen from proper source. This is how we become serious in our Krishna consciousness. But then once we become serious, what is the essence of our spiritual practice? What is the essence of our Abhideya? Is Kirtanam. Other devotees are saying, well, Smaranam is the goal. Smaranam is the most important thing, even more important than Kirtanam and Shravanam. Yes, correct. Smaranam is the goal, but how you are going to remember the Lord if you don't chant? Actually, Srila Prabhupada is making very interesting point in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. He's discussing, his introduction to Bhagavad Gita is very systematic. If one goes carefully through it, you see everything is very systematic. Like first, Srila Prabhupada is speaking about what is our mood in order to be able to start spiritual life. That we should have the mood of devotion, accept the spiritual knowledge as it is given from Guru Parampara, from Krishna himself, and follow the way how Arjuna is accepting this knowledge. And then very systematically he is explaining Sambandha, Abhidaya and Prayojana. Who is God? What is the living entity? What is the material world? What is the spiritual world? What is the connection between God, spiritual living entity, and the energies of God? And then he's speaking what is our goal. He's speaking about the Sanatana sky, how we should achieve this destination. And then at the end, he's speaking what is the process, how to do that, how to achieve this. He's saying, well, the process is, Bhagavad Gita is saying, Antakale chamameva smara muktva kalevaram ya prayati sa madbhavam yati asti natra samsheha. Whatever one remembers at the time of leaving his body, this kind of existence he will achieve. Yat yad vapi smaram bhavam tyajati ante kalevaram tam tayam evaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. It's very interesting, this verse, whatever one remembers at the time of death, this kind of existence he'll achieve. This verse appears in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita 2 times on 1 page. On 1 page, Srila Prabhupada 2 times is quoting this verse. Same verse, 2 times, Sanskrit. Very interesting. And then after Srila Prabhupada stressing that the essence of the process is to remember Krishna, he's saying, nowadays in this age, actually, one should always remember Krishna by repeating Hare Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs us in this thing. And he is saying, there is no difference between chanting Hare Krishna and remembering Krishna. When we are chanting Hare Krishna, automatically we are remembering Krishna. So these 2 things, they are synonymous. The more we chant Hare Krishna, the more we will remember Krishna. So again, there is no contradiction. To chant Hare Krishna Kirtana and to remember Krishna Smarana, it is the same thing. So yes, we were speaking that one should cultivate the godly qualities, and from the different rules and regulations, positive rules and regulations to follow, most important thing is chanting Hare Krishna. I wanted to speak more things about Brahma, because Brahma is very interesting personality from many different perspectives. Like we know Brahma, he is the head of our Sampradaya. Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya. So taking the head of a Sampradaya, he is very unique personality. He is not just one of the ordinary beings in this world. This puts him in a very special position, in a Guru position, Guru Tattva. However, in the lifetime of Brahma, we have different interesting situations which happen in his life, and they show Brahma in a different light. Like sometimes they show infallible side of Brahma, and sometimes these circumstances they show the fallible side of Brahma. So he's a very interesting living entity in a very interesting position. From one side, he is totally infallible because he represents purely Krishna in Guru Parampara. So in this way, he is transparent via media, perfect via media of Krishna, of the knowledge that he took from Krishna. From other perspective, we see there incidents in the universe in which Brahma is acting apparently in a mistaken way. Different situations like that. For example, Brahma Vimohana Lila, yes, he stole the cow boys and the small cows, and apparently he was thinking, well, Krishna, this cannot be the Supreme Lord. I mean, how this is the Supreme Lord? Like, he doesn't look like that. Supreme Lord, there are two very interesting words used in Bhagavatam. Balakeli and Yajabuk. Supreme Lord, he's the Yajabuk. He's the enjoyer of all sacrifices in the whole universe. He's the Almighty Supreme Lord. And here we have in front of us Balakeli, this small boy, small, and he's like tending the cows. And not only that, but actually it is explained that at that time when Brahma was looking at Krishna, he was meditating on Krishna. Krishna was eating a sweet made from rice and yogurt. And he was keeping the sweet not with his right hand, with his left hand. And the sweet, because it was kind of like, I guess, semi-liquid sweet, so part of the liquid part of the sweet was going down the hand of Krishna. So he was kind of dirty, eating with his left hand. And Brahma was looking this and he was saying, Are Baba, how it is possible? This is the Supreme Lord, this small boy, he even doesn't know how to eat. And this is the Supreme Lord. He said, no, not possible. So he wanted to test Krishna, and he tested Krishna. And what was the outcome? Krishna expanded himself in as many cow boys and cows that that Brahma stole. And at the end, Brahma, he understood, okay, this is the Supreme Lord. He saw how all these cow boys and cows, they became Narayanas, four-handed forms of the Supreme Lord. And he was like amazed. Then we have another story, how Brahma, one time he was bewildered from the beauty of his daughter. And he was apparently attracted from her. He wanted to have intimate relationships with her. And we have other story when Brahma, he gave blessings to who? Very famous pastime, 7th canto of Bhagavatam. Hiranyakashipu, correct. Hiranyakashipu performed very severe austerities, and at the end Brahma appeared and gave him blessings. But at the end of the Narasimhadev Lila, Narasimhadev is instructing Brahma, and he is telling him, don't give any more such blessings to demons because they create a big problem for the whole universe. So don't do that anymore. So it's a very interesting position. Brahma is a perfectly living entity in a sense that he transmits perfectly the knowledge which is coming from Krishna, and in this sense he's Acharya, he's perfect. From other perspective though, sometimes appears like that he's mistaken. It just appears like. However, what is our Vaishnava understanding on this perspective? Well, the Vaishnavas are saying no, Brahma is always correct. It's not that sometimes he's correct, sometimes he's wrong. No, Vaishnavas, they don't accept the situation this way. Brahma is always perfect. Brahma is always correct. But sometimes, for the plan of Krishna, he may act in a certain way that we may not understand. So this is something that Vaishnavas are saying. Sometimes the great personalities, they may act apparently in a bewildering way for us, but we don't say that they are mistaken or they are wrong or they are in ignorance. We say we don't understand this pastime, but this is a pastime. It's not just an ordinary material mistake. This is very important a moment to understand, because sometimes we see apparently a mistaken mood or activities of a great person, And immediately we have the tendency to put him in the category, oh, he's just an ordinary guy, normal guy. No, we shouldn't do that. Devotees are not normal guys. They are not ordinary. And what to speak of such a great personalities like Brahma or Shiva or Indra. In Bhagavatam, there is a verse in which these great personalities, they are compared with a fire. A fire, sometimes he gets in contact with the dirty things, but fire will not be contaminated from this. In the same way, great personalities, although apparently sometimes they are part of impure situation, their consciousness will not be influenced, infected by this. So we shouldn't jump immediately and start accusing them. Like here, Brahma, he tried to find the origin of everything, Krishna, and suddenly, apparently, he was not successful. Aha! So what kind of acharya is Brahma? Like he cannot find the Supreme Lord, and now we are saying he's acharya. How is possible? No, because these living entities, they are directly protected by Krishna, and Krishna is always coming and helping them. So they have the special mercy of Krishna from this perspective. Okay, on this auspicious note, that the saintly person appears, we are purifying him. Thank you very much for your attention. Grandaraj, question. Do we have time for one question? Should be authorized. Time for a question? Do we have? When is Chaitanya coming? Correct. Just to attract us. Why are the deities today so beautiful?
Hey Krishna. Yes. Yes.
What is the standard of beauty? They know it's a concept. But the reservoir of all pleasure is also the reservoir of beauty, knowledge, love, strength. That's the issue. So how can we love? There's the way things are to satisfy with their own conception.
Correct, yes.
So regarding this fallible and infallible nature of Brahma, I was thinking maybe this Brahma being bewildered by when he was creating, he got bewildered by his own daughter or something. So those things may not have been this particular Brahma, because this particular Brahma is a pure devotee. That's why but I think Brahma Vimon Lila, that's why Shipad Madhvacharya, that's what I've heard, I've not read. I heard that Shipad Madhvacharya, he hasn't commented on Brahma Vimon Lila. Because when he was establishing Brahma Sampradaya, if he comments that our own Guru got bewildered, then he cannot establish Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. So,
Yes.
but other things, I think it mostly, I was thinking that it's mostly other Brahma. It's not this Brahma. This particular Brahma is a pure devotee. This is what I've heard.
Yes. Why? One understanding is this, or other understanding can be it happened before Brahma becoming a pure devotee. It's also possible. But also even the pure devotees, sometimes they can be bewildered. But we don't see it as their lack of something. Rather, is their ornament, is their decoration. Is true Madhva Acharya, the Madhva Sampradaya, they don't accept this pastime. They don't accept it. They not only they don't comment, they don't accept it. According to them, it doesn't happen. But we don't have problem with this, because we see that this pastime actually glorifies Brahma. He was the recipient of the special mercy of Krishna. So it's something glorious. Like when Shiva wanted to see Mohini Murti, and he was in this apparently awkward situation, but it was not awkward. Actually, Shiva himself, he was very happy from what happened after that, because he understood this is a very special mercy from the Lord. So when the devotees, they go through such a circumstances, such a great devotees, actually this is the influence of the internal energy of God. It's not the influence of the external energy. So that's why we don't have a problem with this. Like Arjuna is falling in illusion in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, but we know this is not material illusion. This is a special arrangement of Krishna so that the Bhagavad Gita can be spoken there on the battlefield. So in the same way, when Brahma is illusioned or when Shiva is illusioned, these are special arrangements of Krishna, and we don't have problem with this. Rather, this makes all these devotees glorious. Oh, how advanced are they? How amazing these devotees are that Krishna gave them such a special mercy. It's ornament of the character of these devotees. Thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari